world.
What
Insight
up?
check Twitch.
Insight check Twitch people. Everyone, all of the peoples. We're here.
People. Here we are.
Welcome to our Insight Check show, where we delve deep into the minds of our players and usually discuss things that happened in the most recent episode, but also talk about all D&D things, usually. And today, I am not the host.
Oh.
Then why are you talking?
I don't know.
Then why do you have the most, Jordan?
Yeah.
Why do you have the most?
Do you have the most?
I don't have the
Share
most.
some of that,
You can still host.
huh?
What are your questions, my dude?
Wait,
I
who's,
don't
If you can
have
read
to.
that handwriting.
wait, who's hosting today?
Would you like to host?
Would you like me to ask questions?
Welcome to Insight Check
Well
with
done.
Loot and Varian on the
If you
beam.
On the beat.
I am.
So, if you want a break. But if this would
No,
make
you
you
got it.
feel better, no.
Olivia's hosting! Jordan's hosting!
Okay,
I'm
I'll host.
hosting.
You're hosting.
Everyone's hosting.
We can just pass the paper around. We could do that.
I also didn't see this at the time, but Bunka Ninja,
Bunka Ninja.
Bunka Ninja, and
Heavy-
Heavy Dubstep.
Oh,
Two P's.
yeah.
That real
Dubstep. Thank you for the follows.
Thanks, guys.
Join us. Be great. Thank you. Alright, so, man, your handwriting is so good. I wish I could write this well.
Same.
I heard herring.
I heard hearing.
Yeah, I heard herring,
Yeah, you.
and I was like,
you
he must
sort
have
of-
said hearing.
Mumble?
You sort of
I
skipped
knew what you
over
were
some of the
talking about.
syllables there, but yeah, we know what you mean.
Handwriting?
It's ironic that I heard that wrong.
Yeah.
When I thought it was hearing was so good.
But
Handwriting.
You're
Yikes,
hiring,
man.
you're hiring.
Yikes.
Handwriting.
their handwriting is amazing, and I do want that font. I'm gonna download a program on
I
my
will
tablet
make a
so that you
font.
can
Oh,
write it out and it transcribes into a font. I've done it for my own handwriting before.
Oh, we should
No,
do
you
that.
haven't.
Yeah, and then I realized I couldn't read it.
I will
What they're
so
talking
do
about.
it.
Make our own font.
Make our own font.
But it's, I mean, the only one with.
Rebrand.
Does anyone else have beautiful handwriting?
Not that beautiful.
Right now,
Because
my hands are over
their
here.
handwriting
Stuff
is
with
gorgeous.
those.
Go.
We should talk about that.
Enough about my handwriting. Jordan.
Welcome to the
What's the
Insight
first
Check
question?
episode about Olivia's handwriting.
Mhm. The first question: How well is your
I'm sure I'll
handwriting?
send things on Twitter. So, I want you to host.
With Olivia hosting.
I will be your sous host, like a sous
Dang.
chef. But if you ever want to take over, you just grab it out of my hand, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Is that for me? I
So
can grab it in your hand.
First question, if you can figure out where it is without looking back here, is how do you, as a player, feel about the Bizno fight? Do you feel like it went well? Was it worth all the stress leading up to the session?
How do we know it's over?
Oh, jeez.
How do we know this isn't just a massive illusion?
Riley, I don't like that idea.
Pretty sure Jordan said, well, that's over now.
Yeah, and how do you
He's
know?
vanished forever.
How do you know
Can't come
Bizno
back.
Bizmamo didn't take over Jordan?
Bizmambo. You're right.
That's
Bizno?
fair.
They definitely could have.
I didn't think of that.
Like he's been thinking so heavily about this character that because he's a method actor, he's become one with him. And now, where does Jordan begin? And where does Bizno end?
Or where does Jordan end and Bizno begin?
Or both?
Where does
Where did they both
this
end?
You did say last insight check that
Where do
it's
their
based
ends
on
meet?
you.
Are you a method actor, Jordan? Did you spend the entire week in between the two fight sessions just like still in character?
Killing people.
At work and everything?
Yeah, it's been really awkward.
It has. Yeah.
He's like, I want to take over your soul. I'm like, Jordan, do you want mac and cheese for dinner, though?
I've made 3 Horcruxes.
Okay, so the actual question,
How you feel?
how we feel
About
about,
the
this fight.
How do you feel like it went?
Players
I feel
or
like it went
characters?
well, personally.
Both.
Considering that
Well,
none
player for now.
of us fully died.
Yeah, all in all, I think it
Not
was.
for long.
I think it was worth the stress. Like, it was definitely challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And threw some curveballs.
Oh yeah.
But I think we did a good job.
I loved the curveballs though.
Yeah, me too.
But we
It
batted
was
1,000.
interesting.
Yeah, we did.
Heck
We
yeah.
almost batted too well.
Those that darn smoke
We were dealing
though.
a lot of damage.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
We almost. I don't know if we discussed that on stream though. Jordan let us know that had we killed Amartos, Bizno would have left his body and possessed someone else in the immediate vicinity.
They were pretty close
And
to killing him.
what was it? Like
5 HP.
5 HP?
He had 5 HP left.
Who would he have possessed?
Who was empty at the time?
Someone strong. Well, you'd have had to be alive.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You can't take over a dead body?
He's not like a shot of adrenaline.
No.
Well, you were down.
Yeah.
We're like,
Just like Pulp Fiction.
alive. You were down. Jeff was. Well, I mean, I guess technically both
It
of you
would have
were.
been Val because Val was unconscious.
He
wasn't
also
dead.
he can't take over someone's body without their permission.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Like, not their permission, but without you making some kind of deal.
Hmm.
Like.
So he would
yeah.
have had to find somebody else.
Mhm. Some strong individual who needed something.
Trixon
Likely
wouldn't have
not
made
us.
that deal, would he?
Trixon?
He wouldn't have made a deal, would he?
I'm doubtful.
he was partially possessed. Would that have affected his like
Ability to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
So your soul has to say something.
So it wouldn't have been that.
This is like
I mean, it
specifically
would've been
Bizno
bad,
we're
but-
talking
Well,
about.
it would have pushed it so that we would have to do the whole thing all over again. We'd have to track down who they were doing. We'd have to do the whole banishment spell all over again.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
but
yep.
you'd be higher level by then, so you're even better.
Maybe.
But Bizno would be too.
We don't know that.
Alright.
Maybe he got downgraded.
How does your character feel having survived a fight with a projection of a Baylor demon? Tatiana.
Sleepy.
Oh, Tatiana specifically or everybody?
I mean,
Both?
everybody, but you first, sure.
I mean, she is very relieved. I think she's relaxing for the first time in a very long time. So, yeah. Feels good, but also tired.
Loot?
Loot feels about the same. It wasn't. I don't know. So for loot, they came into it not really knowing what to expect. They've been through fights before in their life, but they were expecting something different, and they got something even more different. So they're not disappointed. They are actually more. I would say they're more along the lines of they're actually pleased because what they thought would happen would be easier. They thought that using the ropey thing would have just like solved things, and Tatiana would have invisipunched the dude.
Your
And
entire answer is confusing me.
I'm sorry.
You gotta keep it short.
Tatiana
Because
wasn't
when you answer
invisible,
with Riley, not Luke.
So he's pleased because
Luke's happy because
Luke's
this
hard.
story
It's
was
a better
good.
story.
Yeah,
cool.
Luke enjoyed the story.
How you feeling?
Happy.
Yay!
Because
It's over.
Trixon's back.
Yes. And he's safe.
Trixon is safe.
And he
The
has
stress is gone. Or
Trixon is safe.
some of the stress.
The immediate stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what a scrolling wheel.
I feel like Sumiko's acting how I was when I came into this house right now, where it was like this wasn't a super huge deal to her, and then all of a sudden it was a really big deal, and then it was very close to dying. She is at like 7 health points right now.
Really?
Oh.
Oh,
She
dude,
was
I
very,
didn't know she
very,
got
very-
that.
She was
got
very,
that
very
low.
close.
Sumiko was feeling some pain.
I did
Yeah.
not
Yeah, she
realize
took
Sumiko was
the
so.
first hit that she got was half of her health.
Yeah.
And then after that, I healed like 3 times pretty much
Yeah.
instantly, and I was still only up to like
I mean,
maybe 2/3,
this
and then I got
fight
hit.
was balanced for the jerky because, like, we
Yeah.
had 2 people drop. We had another one barely hanging on.
I ate all the jerky.
like even with.
So
You can
I
tell what it
imagine.
would have been like without jerky.
I just imagine she's like very much on edge. Like even though it's over, it's like you can't like. I don't think she could immediately relax. Like,
Yeah.
it would take like probably more than 24 hours.
Has this been her first big like
Boss fight.
fight? Yeah.
Think so?
Because
Yeah.
Miko wasn't with us.
Maybe.
She was with us for Grimrog, right?
Oh yeah, it
You were
was.
with us
Yeah, I was with
for
Grimrock.
Grimrock.
I didn't.
You didn't get hit on it.
I like bare. Like I was like
though.
cool during that
This
fight.
time-
But
took a
he
lot of
was
damage
like
from me.
hyper focused on hurting.
And that was good
you.
because Luke was our
Wasn't he?
heal bot at the
He
time.
was. He
To
was
be fair-
focused on hurting other people,
Yeah.
and
Oh, okay.
all these bosses just want to torture their main victims. They're like,
They've
I'm gonna kill all your
got,
friends.
They've got grudges.
They got some.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
evil,
To be
which I guess
fair,
is why we're trying
Why
to
we're
kill
killing
them.
to be fair, Luke
These
does
big
feel a little
bads are
bad.
Big and bad.
I know, right?
It says Big Daddy.
Luke does feel a little bad because he was in like post healbot mode. He wasn't in pre healbot mode.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, that one's unconscious. My bad. Come back. Wake up. Wake up. Oh shit, that one's really dead."
I mean, it wasn't entirely his fault.
To be fair, they were like on the other side of the
Yeah,
wall,
considering-
and like,
Yeah.
That there were.
and there was smoke, so Luke was just
And
like,
no one's main
Invisibility
job is to
made it
heal.
hard.
True.
You know,
Right.
like you were doing things.
I
You were
really,
doing things. And
I
you were
really-
like, oh shit, someone needs a heal.
Yeah.
You
I'll
were
do
a
it.
lot more useful for buffs and debuffs, I
True.
think, which was
traditionally,
really, really
Well,
great
it
and
was super clutch
and-
for
oh.
Tatiana.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I did super enjoy that as a bard, I'm more of a healer than I was as a cleric.
Yeah.
I healed more last session than I ever did as a cleric.
Cards, man.
As a cleric, I just launched
Multi-tool.
fireballs and scorching rays and
Preventing damage is a good form of healing. Well, not healing, but
Yeah,
a good form of
anti
and
damage.
whatever.
I mean, you could think of it as
You were
as
preventing
healing.
death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And necromancy is just like late healing. Is that the?
Late healing.
No, that's pro skill healing right there.
In that case, like a fighter or someone DPS is a healer too. Like they're preventing death via
man.
attacking a lot, causing damage, killing.
Well, yeah, because their health is at 0 and they're not adding anything
That's-
to your
That's
health.
what tanking is.
Yeah, as long as you keep your health at 0, you're good.
So, in that same vein, what do you feel was your character's best moment this fight?
That's a good question.
Ooh.
Tatiana?
Oh man.
I'm just gonna go the same way around every time.
Okay.
So get ready to answer
so
every question
answer
first,
first.
Jenny.
Her best moment.
Yeah. What was her MVP moment? I mean,
I can
Tatiana
think
was the
of
MVP
one.
of
I mean,
this
that-
fight,
That's
regardless.
my beard.
The
When I
one-
killed him.
When you bent.
Yeah.
You-
When you said
Jeez.
GT the fucko.
Yeah, that was pretty
GT
good.
the fuck out.
That probably wins. Yeah, there were a couple of moments that like stick out in my mind. One of them, it wasn't really my doing, but like once I made the wisdom save and like he like shrunk down in size, and then I was like back in the game and like going after it, like that felt really good.
That was really cool.
And then the obviously the kill shot.
It was all you're doing.
Mhm.
It was all Tatiana's doing.
Who
So-
controls Tatiana?
Alright, Luke,
Tatiana.
what do you feel like was your best moment in this fight?
Easily. When Lou was hit, when Lou was, I can't remember what it was, like confusion or when hit by something.
Mhm.
Hit by something, and then Luke tosses back a jerky, says, "Little guy, we got this," and flies on into the smoke, taps Tatiana on the shoulder, lets her know she's got this, and flies right back out.
That was really
I
cool.
think
That was so good.
Super
that was
Luke was
Luke's
cool.
clutch moment.
Super
Yeah.
Luke was
Did you have
awesome.
your arms out?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course Luke
I was
did.
just trying
And
to get
honestly, we would have been
With
way
his
more
trench
screwed
Trench coat.
without
Yeah.
that.
Billowing
Yeah,
away.
Chris was billowing.
Da-da-da. So cool.
Even the there was 0 wind. It Just billowing. It's beautiful.
Varian.
I liked turning into a monkey and grabbing the hands.
Grabbing the hands.
Yeah.
Beating him in a strength athletics check.
That was kick-ass.
Well, he rolled a natural 1.
Yeah, that you
Still.
still beat him.
Varian beat him.
Granted,
That
he
fight
beat you at one point with the
that'd be
sword. He was like, nope.
Well, he beat me like the next 3 times. I rolled 27, he rolled 28, and we're like,
Fine.
okay, fine.
Fine. Whatever.
That's rough.
It was a pretty high modifier, but the nat one, you got it. You did it.
Yay.
Sumiko.
So I felt like I was just kind of going wherever was needed. So I don't know what like the best moment is, but the only thing I can really think of is just protecting Varian from taking the damage with Sanctuary because the other spell failed. I mean, also that really big sphere is
That
pretty
was
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
That was probably too much damage for our purpose, but you only get to do it once.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, why
that was
not?
Awesome.
It was super
Well,
cool.
and like, in fairness to like, we didn't want to kill him at the same time. If the banishment had failed, or if I had fallen, or if, you know what I mean? Like, killing him was the other way to get out of that.
Yeah, do what you
battle
gotta do right now.
alive.
We could
So,
turn him into a crab and just like pet him with a pet.
Casting Sanctuary for the very first time ever, though, and having it be in a big bad fight
Baby.
to save Varian was super cool.
And having it work.
Yeah, and having, I was
Yeah.
going to say, having it work.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
very
Or
excited
yeah, it was awesome.
because I wanted
Uh,
Command to work because I was like, oh, it's probably gonna beat it. It's gonna beat it. I just wanted him to stop moving. Only thing
Command would have been pretty cool.
Only thing I wish that I did more was normally I ignore my harmony orbs because I don't feel like I need healing. But looking back, I could have used those more instead of protecting my character.
The question isn't what you should have done. The question is what was kick-ass that you did.
I guess those 2 things. I can't think of anything
They
else.
were really neat. Yeah. I don't know what I'm
You
holding.
ran up the
Fingers,
wall?
but there's something
Huh?
You
there.
ran up the wall and you demolished that demon from atop the wall?
Italian heritage.
Yeah, it's cool.
I didn't kill it.
I did
Cute.
not.
You know what
Apparently it's in
damage
there
from
somewhere.
Oh, yeah, that's the one where I got 3 hits.
Like the
Because
2
most of the
radiant
other
and the
time I
1
didn't.
cold orb or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of each.
Oh.
Cause I didn't know which one to do.
I thought it was cool that everybody stayed quiet while you were deciding which one to do, though.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I still just
That
confuses
was
me.
cool.
Yeah.
Confuses me.
So Radiant.
I mean, Ben explained it to me now,
Oh,
so I
okay.
get it. But like at the time, I was like,
I was like, if you ever play an RPG with undead things or evil things,
Radiant the
Damage.
fuck out of them.
Yeah, I didn't.
Cold was not a bad option though.
It was
because-
not a bad option.
I
either.
said
all that
radiant.
fire, all these fire
I
things.
said
Yeah.
radiant, and then Jordan gave me a look of, "Are you sure?" And then I second
Jordan.
guessed myself because I was just gonna do all of them radiant, but you gave me a look that was like, "You don't want to do that."
His look was actually probably like,
Oh,
oh, that's
fuck.
gonna hurt him, and then
That
it
was
was
probably-
right.
that was probably the look,
I
like-
was thinking.
It definitely looked like, "Don't do that."
Don't do that. I still want to have fun.
Maybe don't do that to protect you, but I read that as you shouldn't do that because that's not the most damage.
Oh no! If anything, it would have been like a. Three on do it? Like
Yes, that.
three
I
radiant, right?
I read
Don't do
that
that.
as don't do that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Jordan, what did you feel like was your best moment in the fight?
Shit, I didn't know I was gonna have to answer.
I can go first while you think.
Yeah, you do that.
I don't think so.
What?
Best moment.
Ginny didn't have time to think. You don't get time to think.
Best moment?
Yeah.
I think either bringing in Trixon
Mm-hmm.
and having him like showing
That was panic inducing.
him
Yeah, that was so good.
hurting the party, especially because you all knew like this guy is a really strong wizard. So the fact that this guy's not on our side,
Right.
so seeing that on your faces was cool.
That hurt.
That's terrifying.
So that moment, either me killing you and then, going off to like the next.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that was
Do you
cool.
remember that?
Actually,
Being
you know
killed?
what? I do know what Samaria's best moment was, and it was the line, "That's your job, you big red fuck." Yep.
Peaked early.
That's what tanks do.
You tanked early, and then
Yeah.
how many rounds were you down for? There's only like
That's a good-
5?
Really?
4?
A good number of rounds.
4 rounds, maybe?
Yeah. It took Loot a while to realize.
She's out.
Oh,
Wait, so what was the question here?
She was
Was
unconscious
it
for a
best player moment?
best
It
moment.
was
your best
What do you
moment?
feel was your character's best moment in the fight?
So for you, it'd be the
shit.
characters you moved.
Was it when
But
you
for you, it
fell in
could
lava?
be-
Yeah.
What was the
Yeah.
best thing
That was
you
pretty
did
great.
you
That was
introduced
good.
to the fight?
When you realized the floor was lava?
When you got confused?
Do
and
we
couldn't
have
do
any
anything?
confirmation that we're
Mine-
like streaming to anyone right now?
Yeah.
That's what I just said. Spin.
I mean,
Well, we're like, oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
yeah, but we
There's
usually
no one said anything.
we have
this
no
whole time.
none in chat. Hold on, let me pull it up.
We're so much popular.
They're
so
just,
much more popular.
they're just
than us.
quiet.
If anyone
Not
in
normally this quiet though. Normally someone says hello.
yeah, if anyone in chat to go ahead and engage and say
No, I just want to make sure it's not because our sound is actually off this entire time and people are just popping in.
so did you unmute it? You know it's up there, it's crooked.
That's good.
Channel fine.
Okay.
There's
Well,
something
I mean,
happening
the
with.
sound is good.
Somebody did something with Twitch Prime. Yeah, this,
There we go.
Hey everyone.
Okay. Cool.
There we
Oh,
go.
the Chrome Ninja.
Oh, people.
Alright.
Alright.
thank you very much.
Ooh.
So-
Confirmed it is working.
Kapuffin, thank
Okay.
you for the sub.
Kapuffin
Yay,
Kapuffin.
Kapuffin7, thank you for the sub.
Love you.
I'm gonna give you a hug or something.
You spelled Kafuffin wrong.
Wait, I had one last thing.
Oh, go for it.
Last player moment is literally at the very end. When he was losing. It was like the look of looking Tatiana in the face and knowing that, like, wanting to say something really smart, and I'm channeling Bizno. Like, I wanted to say something smart, but like in the situation, I could not think of something because like I knew I was fucked as Bizno. Like my plan had now gone to shit, and I was literally about to say like well, I'll see you again or something or whatever. But he couldn't even get it out in time.
Sorry, I was trying to face ID.
I thought that was great. The fact that she came up and just like
Boom! Wrecked house.
fucking tombstone him. Anyway. So I have some character specific questions.
Ooh.
And Jenny, we don't have to start with you if you don't want. But the first one. You doing something.
Yeah.
Start with Loot.
Alright.
So Loot has now seen an exciting climax and potentially a satisfying conclusion to the
Mhm.
Shadow's current story arc.
Yeah.
Do they plan to stick around and see if a new story begins?
Heck no, don't know the story. Time to go to the next party.
Are they getting attached to the party?
No, they're gonna write their
Really?
book, they're gonna sell it, they're gonna make their money, and they're gonna move on with their
Just
life.
fuck back off to the family.
Yeah. No, they're actually going to the Underdark. They're going
The
to
Underdark?
Underdark now, Going back there, see what that
like
has
you
to
do.
offer.
Oh my gosh.
Well, because now
Straight to the Shadow.
now he has to get Bizmo's side of the story.
Bizno.
Bizmo.
Wherever
Bizmama.
Bizmo
So you're
is.
going to the abyss.
Yeah.
Abyss with all
Great.
the demons.
Well, I gotta go to the Underdark first, and then keep traveling.
He needs his side of the story.
The abyss isn't a separate plane. It's like physically under everything.
Under the Underdark. The
Hey, you
Underdark.
just keep digging, right? That's how it works. You're
The
gonna
Underdark.
he's gonna put some gold in the ground, summon his gold. What were his
It's
creatures?
just like if you go high enough, you'll just reach like I don't know.
The astral
The
plane.
The astral sea.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
The overall.
No, if you go high enough, you reach Jordan, and you receive one Jordan.
You guys still haven't received a Jordan.
We're not on that level yet.
But no, so Luke definitely doesn't believe that their story is over. with the shadows. Loot definitely is getting attached, little by little, but they think that there's more. There's more that the story has to offer. And the more they learn about the party, the more they want to show and learn with the party. Because one final point, they definitely want to go back to the Fae with Virion. And they definitely want to show Virion where they grew up.
Oh.
So, yeah. Because Virion saw...
Wait, where you grew up? You were
Buddy
made.
friends.
You were manufactured.
Still grew up there.
His mind grew up.
Yeah. His soul was...
How old were you though when you were made?
The tree he came
I
from
think,
grew
if I remember correctly,
up.
they left. They left the Fae, I think, around 10 or 15.
The low-hanging loot.
Something like that. So they were still quite young. But the thing,
really bad.
the thing with
So
Loot
bad.
is they were, unlike a human or an elf or whatever, they didn't have to spend time developing. Their mind and everything was there. Granted, their decisions and whatnot might have developed over time, but like they weren't like goo goo gaga. They were just like, yo dog, what's up?
But the morality and the ethics had to
develop over time.
Right.
So
interesting. Okay.
but no, the moral of the story, they'll stick around for now.
Goo goo gaga.
Yeah.
Go go gadget.
Yeah.
That's what loot was.
All right. Are you ready for Tatiana's question?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Tatiana has finally completed her quest of having brought down Bizno and avenged her monastery. How is she feeling? Does she intend to take some time to celebrate, enjoy life, and being with her companions? Or is she already dreaming of finding Bizno in the abyss and finishing him for good?
Okay. So, Tatiana, as far as how she's feeling, is so far like completely unable to process the reality of what you just said. That she's defeated Bizno and avenged her monastery and everything. Like, I don't think she's been able to feel that yet because she was so focused and overwhelmed on just getting it done. So, but I think it will like dawn on her, and then I think she is going to want to celebrate with her friends and relax for a little while.
She's not super anxious to get to
as far as getting to the abyss, like she's well aware that she needs to become a lot stronger before she goes like charging into the abyss to destroy Bizno for good. Like, is that in the back of her mind? Yes, but that's like she's not anywhere, like that's not at the forefront or like the next thing that she thinks she's going to be doing.
It's about 8 levels from now.
So, yes.
Awesome. That's a good answer. Alright. Who's next? Who wants to be next? Virion or Sumiko? Okay. Alright, Sumiko. Now that Bizno has been defeated, Sumiko has time to better explore her relationship with her new god and her angelic guide, Fred. How does she plan to do so?
Well, since I couldn't contact Fred in a battle, I'm gonna contact him outside of the battle. Probably.
Is she angry about that? Is she gonna be like, what the fuck, man? Where were you?
No, I don't think so.
Did you try in battle?
No, I was just making a joke.
Okay.
Oh.
I was like, wait, did Fred just say no?
She was gonna try, but she didn't have channel divinity.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like, player me knew that wasn't gonna happen, so character me did not do that.
That's what, like 3 levels into cleric?
That was 2.
2, I think.
Channel divinity.
I don't know. I'm only level 1. I don't know. I think she's gonna be more interested in talking with him now that she's gotten to do some of it, and she's probably gonna want to do more because this is the first time where she's been able to help other than let me just shoot orbs and hurt people.
Hi!
I sting like a ray.
Don't worry, we're just chatting.
But I think she'll reach out to him.
Yeah.
Probably when she's alone. Not necessarily in front of everyone. It's not gonna be one of those things where she's gonna be like talking to Fred every 2 seconds. I feel like that would be a little excessive.
She's doing the Fred thing again, guys.
The Fred
Does
thing.
Fred have a stone?
Do you feel him?
Yeah, we definitely feel him. He's
I wonder if the
great.
rest of the party's gonna be able to see Fred when he appears, or if it's just gonna be
Well, right now the only person who knows about Fred
is
is Lute, and
or
technically
Val knows. Yeah.
Val knows, but he didn't
Yeah, Val
say
probably just ignored
anything
it.
else.
Val just
Val
ignored
probably
it.
just brushed it off.
And Lute really brushed it off.
It was like, okay, sweetie.
Please, amigo.
Alright.
Got it. Fred.
Good, right. Good job, sweetie. I'm proud of you.
Sting like a ray. I know you had feelings about the session, so
Release those.
yeah.
That's
Well, release your
In the
feelings
chat.
in the chat and put all the questions that you have, because I know that you have questions. Anyways, continue.
That was it.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, well, Virian, since the campaign arc involving your brother, you've been playing more of a supporting role. The Virian part has kind of ended for a little bit. Yeah.
There was a lot of Varian in the last arc with
Right.
Grimrock.
With the brother and the sister.
Yeah.
Now that this more kind of Tatiana-centric arc has come to a close, do you plan to bring up your family again?
Nope.
Not at all.
I mean, if we go back to Stonehaven, he'll say hey to his sister.
But not interested in Daddy?
I mean, he is, but he wants to do some more, groundwork before dragging people into it. He's got some stuff he needs to figure out before he's like, hey guys, want to help me with no leads whatsoever?
So is
So
that
it feels
is he in lead gathering mode then?
Yeah, he already did some research at the Shellity, and he got some leads at the castle when we were there last. So,
Does he feel like he hasn't earned the ability to ask the party to help him with that yet?
I don't think so. No,
You don't think he feels that way?
no, I don't think he feels that way. I think he could ask, or he feels like he could ask. He just doesn't want to be a burden with hey, let's go find. I know we just saved my sister, and we just killed the demon, and we should go find this other thing in my backstory.
If no other, if no other imminent quest pops up, is he going to suggest it?
There's still a lot of information he feels he needs to gather, because his last time they were in a library, he read about the Shellity, which is like a sketchy town, black market and stuff like that, and he doesn't want to. He wants to make sure that they need to go there before they just go there on a whim. So he's still doing research.
All right.
You also passed it once.
We did. He got to see it, which is how I learned from Farragar about it, or what it was called at least. That's what I had to look for.
So I have another question involving Virian. Immediately after the fight ended, Virian went straight to Tatiana to comfort her, lend support, whatever needed to happen in the moment. Why did Virian feel like he should go to her? What prompted that?
And related to this question.
I don't know, I was thinking about that. I think there's a couple of reasons he felt the need, one of which was obvious. Just overcame this huge hurdle and avenged, however many people that he didn't know. They also got some sort of closure on Xena's death, because Bizno killed her. And then the other one was he felt bad about being like, should we run? Should we just abandon this?
That was what I was thinking.
Because she was out of it.
Right.
Which means she wasn't in control. in his eyes, which is when Varian starts to freak out.
Right.
So he's like, do we break wind now? But yeah, it was a couple things.
I was really curious about that, about whether he felt bad about that moment of doubt.
Yeah, it was a bunch of emotions.
Liv did feel bad for not responding.
That was
Player and character.
I couldn't have
such a
responded
good
because I was, dead. So
Yeah. That was
There's
such a good moment for Tatiana, though. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Like, to have kind of that, like, emotional beat for a second before everything, like, before the episode ended. But, like, I think it was really cool because, like, Varian has been there the entire time. And has always been, like, this very steady, like, person that she's relied on. And so I think that was exactly the person that she would have wanted to, like, comfort her at that moment. And I wouldn't have even thought about that, but it was like that was full circle. That was just what she needed.
Yeah.
I think after going through all that.
So the other question I had that was tied to that was, how did it feel for her to allow herself a moment of being taken care of after spending so long taking care of everybody else in the party? Allowing herself to be vulnerable and weak for a second.
Right. And yeah, completely, like, so I felt like I was so emotionally charged through that whole game.
Yeah.
And just, like, kind of like being in her headspace for it. Like, I needed a nap after.
Or a stiff drink.
And
Or
so
cookout too,
it felt very genuine that, oh God, that, like, that what she would do right then is just collapse.
Yeah.
And so I think that was, like, I think that was really, really good for her.
I
It was awesome.
had a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
I had a lot of feelings.
I had a lot of feelings about that too.
So, wow. Okay. Are we going to address Ray's question
please,
now?
let's.
So,
Where is Val?
Ray's, that's a good question. What was Jeff?
He didn't let me know he wasn't gonna be here.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh. Is he gonna be in chat?
Went back looks like a butt crap.
I don't know.
I feel like if he was, he would have responded.
Yeah. With his little door open, head hanging out emoji.
So the one thing that I do know about what Val was feeling when he saw Samaria dead, just because Jeff and I have been talking about it non-stop for the past few days. So Val, when we leveled most recently, took another level in Blood Hunter. And now that he's 3 levels in, had to choose his archetype, right. And he chose Ghost Slayer, which is a type of Blood Hunter that is closely tied to death and undeath, and ensuring that what's dead stays dead, and things of that sort. But are fascinated with the sort of moment of transition between life and death. So he did say that when Samaria died, he was like, ooh, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're going to bring her back and we're going to have a chat, because he's starting to experience the fascination with death and with that transitional moment that she was very much experiencing. And that he's experienced before.
Does Val want to die and be brought back?
I think that's a thing that you and Jeff talked about, yeah. That Ghost Slayers kind of are known for seeking out death experiences. Yeah. So,
like getting super close to like almost the point of death, but not getting there.
Let's gonna have to brush off that raised dead spell.
Jenny Lovac, welcome to.
Hey, Jenny Lovac.
Welcome to our adventure.
What up?
Thank you for joining.
Wait, what battle adventures? I'm confused.
Like corpses?
Sting like a ray. That's a great question. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'm okay. I just, I calls them as I sees them.
As you sees them in your mind.
Yeah. see, I would love to say that, like, it's not me. I just, like, really get into the mind of the character, and I'm like, what would this character do? What situation would the character create? But, like, I made the character.
That you did.
So I don't know.
So
it's all in there somewhere.
Yeah, hiding.
Is he okay?
Repressed.
I don't know.
Somewhere.
Who knows?
Which ones are you not okay about, Sting like a ray?
Or the one where he summoned the sword in Val's neck.
Oh my
That
god,
was crazy.
Yeah.
And then Val dropped unconscious.
Well, I mean,
Instead of just fucking dying.
we walked into a field of lava,
Yeah, I
and there
thought
were
Val was-
corpses falling from
That's
the
true.
sky
Oh, yeah.
and exploding.
When that happened, when
That
we saw
was-
that happening, I was like, this is like a cutscene for like a battle we're about to do. That's the mechanic.
And like,
We're
it is
so
not rated E for everyone.
That's the
like
mechanic.
That's the mechanic.
yeah.
Too bad I was too like distracted by shit.
About to
We're
die.
gonna die. I didn't even remember.
Yeah.
100 the Val.
Like with Val.
100% the Val one.
Yeah, no, when the Val one, I was like, oh, I guess I gotta bring back to life 2 people. Yeah, alright.
Did my cat die?
Yeah, a lot of people got impaled.
Yeah, I thought for sure Val was like dead.
That's fun.
Yeah, the
She
sludge
would've been
when
on.
Tatiana was almost possessed was
In a
crazy.
bag.
Yeah, that visualization was so cool.
It was really cool, and it
Which
like
one?
hardening
The sludge
when Tatiana was almost
Oh.
Oh,
possessed.
yeah.
coming you, and
It
then
was like running up her arm.
It hardening and cracking
and
off.
cracking off, and just like
Yeah.
shedding
That was
the
neat.
control.
That was so cool. That was really neat.
Thank you.
That was such a cool battle.
Before- Before it goes off the screen, how does this affect relationships after such an emotional battle? I think we talked a little bit about
So
Tatiana and Virian.
yes, so strengthened a lot of some of the relationships in general. I was actually one thing that I wanted to talk about was Tatiana's feelings about Samaria.
Okay, well,
So-
I have a question for that. The party has
Oh.
now seen Samaria go to bat for their cause. How are they feeling about her? Do they trust her yet?
Yeah, so Samaria 100% earned Tatiana's trust there. So Tatiana is very much used to throwing herself, her body, in harm's way, like, being like up front in people's faces, punching them in the
looking
face.
mirror.
She has an ability with her monastic tool now that allows her to like take a hit for someone, essentially, and take somebody else's damage. And she couldn't do any of that in this battle, and she knew that. So like her emotions are wanting to like jump in and help everybody, like make sure that nobody gets hurt, but like she was super focused on the mission and knew that she had to keep herself safe until it was time to do the banishment. And so having Samaria there, putting herself like on the front line, like right there, putting her body on the line to get like torn apart by Bizno,
When she did.
seeing that happen, seeing her fall for the group and for the cause, like, yeah, like she
gets a drink.
Besties for the resties.
for sure, yeah, Tatiana, like, hopefully we'll get a chance to
This is my whole
say
goal
how
of
much she
entering this
appreciates
campaign.
that, but yeah,
Be
that's what
best
she
friends with
needed.
Tatiana.
Yes.
It's actually the only reason I joined, and now that that's happened, I'm not
See
joining.
ya.
Thanks, guys.
Oh man.
No, it was really good. Really good tanking. Like, a lot of hits were spent, and a lot of time was spent on like trying to take out Samaria.
right.
That's the
That was
point.
the point.
Right.
Yep.
That's the point. So
Like,
like,
she's in your
damage or
face,
not.
keeping you busy
Yeah.
for a bunch of rounds. So, yeah.
Bestie ship. Is that a thing?
Yes.
yes,
That's a thing.
it is now. It is now.
A lot of feelings. Anyone else? Luke? Virian? Sumiko?
I mean,
Feelings?
you had Virian at
Thoughts?
hello. There's a stone. You want to be friends? You want to come with us?
Yeah.
Thing?
Oh, I did enjoy my Luke bonding with Val. Well, what did Luke say? It was come back, sweetie.
Yeah,
Come
cutie.
back.
Come
Yeah,
back,
come back,
cutie.
cutie. Yeah.
Come back, cutie.
That was so good.
Val the next day sent me a message and was like, "Come back, cutie, you killed me."
That was beautiful. That was a
It was
beautiful
so
moment.
perfect.
I was trying to do something coy in between you and because I just had brought Samaria back,
Mhm.
and I was trying to do something coy, and I was like, you know what? I'll just be simple. So I went with "Come back, sweetie, cutie." But I don't know. What was the question?
Also, like his head needed that to get any bigger.
Look, they were unconscious. They only heard like their body heard it. They didn't hear.
That's fair. The question was, how is the party feeling about Samaria? Do they trust her yet?
Don't trust them at all. It's like
Who doesn't? Fuck her.
can't even
Get her
survive
outta here.
half a battle. Like little princess, just what are they here
That was
for?
great.
Didn't run away.
Get
Respond.
back here, princess. That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was good too.
Luke had a lot of good one-liners.
He actually had some really,
Zingers.
really
Yeah.
solid moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those from across the wall too.
Uh-huh.
Not even in sight, just like
Come back, princess.
I hear you groaning over there. Get the fuck back up. Well, I mean, Lute respects Samaria enough to actually bring them back. So, if anything, that means a lot. Lute would only, because not only is it a costly fiscally spell, it is quite a spell. So, Lute only would have cast that on someone that they feel is worth it.
Burnt that, what, 5th level spell slot? 3rd
I think
level?
I think it's third.
3rd level.
So it's a 3rd level spell, and like 300 gold worth of diamonds.
Yeah.
So and Blue was saving those diamonds to give to his grandmother that was dying of old age. But you know, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. We'll use them on Samaria. They'll get over it.
She
I
will
hate when people
pay
die
him
of
back.
old age.
I have a question. If Val had failed all his death saves and like died, would you have been able to use that twice?
Yeah, Lute has yeah.
Okay.
Because I could like. So
That's what
the,
I was worried about while we were playing.
So this
I
is-
didn't know that we whether we could bring multiple people
Yeah.
back or not.
Yes, this is the one thing I was interested about, like playing Lute, even though they're a bard and their spell slot is completely different. I use more spells as a cleric than I do as a bard. To the point where I had like at the end of the battle, I was like, I still could cast like a couple more spells, you know. I think I used up a 6th level spell, but that's 'cause I had the programmed illusion.
Right.
But like I still have actual
That was clever.
That was smart.
several left.
That was good.
So
It was a very smart play.
programmed illusion is a
It's-
clutch spell.
It sucked that
Everyone had true sight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucked that
Well.
that Bizno and Trixon had true sight, and the other twos had tremor sense.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
But it was a smart play.
but it was super. It was a
such
super
good
smart
thinking.
play.
Yeah.
But
Varian, Sumiko, thoughts on the angry redhead?
Luke was so clutch in that fight, man.
Oh, I already answered.
It's
Oh,
insane.
that's right.
Literally,
Varian trusts her
Varian's, like, super
implicitly
friendly
and
right away.
has from
Yeah.
the moment they met. Okay.
Sumiko never distrusted you, so I would say she trusts you more. I mean, I don't feel like Sumiko's quick to just be like, I don't trust you unless you've done something specifically
I'm
distrustful.
General
I'm interested
general
if the locket
team
wasn't that moment.
that she would not trust
Distrust
you.
her, yeah. I'm interested by the fact that the locket happened.
She wasn't really in that though. She was outside of it.
True.
She was praying. 'Cause that's what she was told to do. So I feel like she would have been more deep in know with that. She's also oblivious to everything.
So in everyone's eyes, this fight has made up for the weirdness with the locket.
Trixon doesn't really know how he feels right now
Fuck. Trixie.
about you.
Mary doesn't know how she feels about
About
Trixie at
Trixie.
this point.
How's Tristan like that fireball?
He's a little traumatized. TBH.
Luke felt bad that Tristan took a brunt of that fireball.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Well.
I also didn't expect everyone to fail their save. I was like, Tristan will be fine. Nope, everybody failed it. It's like, well, I cast it as like a higher level. It was like a 10d6 or something.
Million d6.
Yeah, it was like, get wrecked.
Or the equivalent of one Jeff's sneak attack.
Yeah, right.
Jeff's like, I'm gonna do Hex plus the Dawn of Right plus sneak attack plus Green Flame plus this bonus, and that's 15d6.
He's like picking him up and putting him in his
That's the one thing that did piss me off about like rogues. Even when I was a cleric, I'd be like, cool, I cast this badass spell. I just did like 8d10, and then like Miriam over here is like, yeah, I just did 70 damage. What?
It was 83.
He did do that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just jealous of how
I'm
many
just like-
spells you guys have.
Yeah.
So many
I have
spells.
2. I was like, I only can do 2 things. It's, like, it's really hard to look at. Your
Level 1 spellcaster versus level.
But it's so
Yeah,
hard to look at. Be like,
12.
oh, I could do this or this or this, and then I'm like, but I only can choose 2.
Right.
And then deciding when to that it's the best time.
At least clerics can change them out each day.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, like I can't as a bard, I can't change anything
Yeah, he's stuck.
unless I level up.
Druids are just, whatever.
That's just the spells, though, not the.
Not the cantrip.
Not the cantrips are stuck. Cantrips
Oh
are
yeah, cantrips are stuck.
I wish I didn't pick one.
Today, I think I'll be a salesman.
But that's fine. I get more later, right?
if you keep leveling up as a cleric.
I definitely plan on taking more than 1 level. Unless I die. But
I don't want any
One
of those
level.
fucking rogue archetypes. Nope.
Well, I know a lot of people
Next
only
level,
take
back
like
to
one level,
cleric.
like as like one level as a fighter or something like that.
I thought about it for a long time. Like the next big thing for my character as like a monk would be level 17, and then I weighed whether or not I really needed it over the cleric stuff that would be more beneficial in more situations because the level
Good to have a
17.
healer.
Well, the level 17 thing was more of like a one-time, like one big hit, which isn't a bad thing. It just feels like not as impactful as like a bunch of things.
That's not as good.
As far as loot potentially taking a level in fighter goes, he's got a rapier and Samaria would train him.
Well, the thing
Sorry.
is,
Yeah.
Loot really thought that they, like when I was building Loot, I really thought they would originally start with a level 1 in fighter and then go through the bard. But I was like, so I did bard all the way through because it would make sense story-wise for them to have taken 1 level in fighter because like they were originally trained, or even seeing if one of the homebrew like assassin classes. So
If they ever around the campfire walked up to Samaria and was like, "Hey,
how does work?
hey,
How do?
you sharpened this a second ago. How do you do it?"
How do?
She'd be like, "Oh fuck yeah, I will for sure train you."
The other reason why Loot really thought it, or why I really thought about doing it for Loot, is as a Warforged you get integrated weapon. So so Loot would have like an integrated like sword and just be like chop people up with his arm.
Nice.
So, but they,
So cool.
yeah. But I think the bagpipes are nice trade-off.
Good bagpipes.
Granted, I can go back to my creator and then be like, I need night vision and a sword arm. And
That's an interesting
and
question.
they'll be like, well, you gotta murder this person. I'm like, guess I'm murdering this person.
So, personally, I feel like Sumiko has been notoriously
naive. What a smart
yeah.
question you're
I
about
know.
to ask.
I know.
Insightful.
Does a fight like this? Hey Riley, could you move for a second?
Change.
I just remembered. Does a fight like this change things at all for her?
I would say so. Like I don't want to say like she experienced something and then it doesn't like have any impact or meaning. It's just the level of that thing. Like this in comparison to being yelled at for the glasses. This is like way up there compared to here because this is the first time where she had to be more strategic about what she's doing, and then more often than not, it was like, oh, Tatiana's up there, I'll go help. Tatiana's not there, what do I do? And in general, this is the first time where she was this is the most hurt that she's been. This is the most
for her to get like within an inch
and getting
Of her life.
really
And
like
then,
hurt.
3 hits. to
Oh,
come within
yeah.
an inch.
Oh yeah.
Well, and you're seeing some really fucked up shit too.
Oh yeah, the
Like,
corpses falling
just
out of the sky.
The
and
whole
exploding.
thing.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the corpses falling out of the sky was like. She swam through
did swim through
through
corpses
a
one
lake
time.
of dead
Oh,
bodies like
yeah.
Backstroke. So I don't know. I that's why I said I picture her as the girl from Pitch Perfect in like the vomit, just being like. But
I'd love to see that movie.
yeah.
I'm never gonna see that.
Yeah,
movie.
you
Why? It's a good
Good.
movie.
Is that a hologram one?
But
It's one of my
I
favorite
definitely didn't. She definitely didn't understand
Just
the
like Lord of the
gravity
Rings.
of the battle until being in it.
Right.
And definitely is gonna have like a better understanding of like the stuff that people put them through,
Yeah.
or themselves through, especially like Tatiana, because Tatiana's always in the front.
How does this help Sumiko with understanding Xena's death? Or does
Well, I feel like it's different. Like I wouldn't say like Xena was. I always kind of pictured Xena being in the back and just kind of shooting from afar, so she wasn't really in danger. And then when she was killed, I felt like we were all running away, and then she just happened to be in the back, rather than being like a target.
it's more so on the death itself? Kind of being in a fight and like the stakes are a lot higher. Seeing, I don't know if you saw that Saberia was dead, that was brought back. But
She
I did.
either
Because
way,
Virion yeeted me out of the smoke.
yoked.
Nope.
I could have told Luke that she was dead, but immediately after something happened, my brain was immediately on what do I do?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who do I think I am?
Ooh, that stabbed me right in my
I'm just
heart.
I'm just a humble DM trying to make a fun game for my friends. That's who I am.
You succeed, my friend.
But to answer your question, I do think she'll understand that it was a little big, more of a bigger deal that how she died and the gravity of
Girl
that.
is literally ash.
Yeah. Cause like I was hurt, like I was just hit really hard. And now she can be like, I can only imagine what it's like to be like
Turned into
burned,
Yeah, turned
like
into
just
ash.
poof.
Incinerated.
Proof is right.
But I think she's gonna focus more on the aspects of the death, not necessarily like Xena herself, because her and Xena were not close. And if anything, Xena was more of like, I don't know, like not the mom for her, but also just not on her side. It was like a weird thing where she was like following her and watching her, and she never really understood their relationship. Like I think the last thing that really transpired between them was with Dane.
Mm-hmm.
And Sumiko would have just been like, "Why are you following me? Why?" Like,
Like right.
it was just really weird for Sumiko because she didn't like think anything of the situation. But then it's like, why? What's going on? But she'll definitely be thinking more about her death. Because she did try to honor her death, but she didn't. I don't think she really understood what she was doing.
Yeah. She's good at doing things she doesn't understand.
Yeah, it was such a good moment.
Oh yeah, the corpses. Seriously, WTF?
The corpses.
The corpses.
Hey,
They
you
suddenly
can
come back
still see and hear us, right?
You do.
Oh, the corpses.
The corpses.
I think it's just having a hard time.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
I
probably really
it's-
just us. I think it's just us.
Yeah.
But
Well,
no,
The
you'd
clo-
go lower, wouldn't you?
all the corpses.
I was just in like stuck in perpetual super straight back mode. I was popping my back right then. I'm stuck.
That was a good pop.
What's next?
Speaking of the corpses,
The corpses.
I have one more question.
I think there's a major delay.
Oh no. Not a major delay.
Is it freezing for you though? Hold on.
Well, there should be a major delay.
Yeah, there's usually a delay,
Yeah.
but is
That's
it?
a long delay.
But is it freezing?
The question is,
I mean, the laptop sounds like it's chugging.
What's your question?
No, she good.
probably my fault.
What did you do?
Probably not
no,
your
it's
fault.
not your fault.
It's usually not this loud. I mean, this. It's not dropping frame.
No,
No,
not freezing.
Not freezing.
Okay, we're good then.
Alright.
You can come back,
We're
Riley.
just gonna keep going.
There's always
Yeah,
a
we've
delay.
dropped 0.7% of frames.
Alright, so we can
I don't know if that's good or bad.
talk more about the corpses.
Oh my god, what are you saying?
What was your question?
It's a little bit of dawning slipping through.
Jordan?
Focus, Jordan, come back to us.
Corpses!
Jordan.
What was your question, Jordan?
My question is.
I'm gonna have a little bit of Fran Drescher right here.
My question
Smidge.
is. Do you find that? I guess it's more so for Tatiana, but it might be for everyone. I'm not sure yet.
Okay, Dixon.
Do you find
Deeper.
do you find that the test was good for like actually getting rid of him?
The test?
Yes.
The
Or-
test or the...
Or so the training.
I mean, yeah, that's what did it.
I mean, besides the actual spell itself.
Besides the spell itself.
Yeah,
Yes.
you could have just looked up the spell on Google.
Like besides the banishment spell itself, do you think that like the whole ordeal, what part of that actually helped you in defeating him?
I mean, the whole ordeal was important. I honestly think I would have played it very differently if she hadn't been through the whole test with having to confront her master and all the stuff that I've talked about in previous insight checks. As far as like the emotional breakthrough that she had and the mental breakthrough that she had, she probably would have been running to Samaria to taking a turn to pour a healing potion down her mouth. And like, you know, like doing all of those kinds of things that she usually does to try and keep an eye on everybody else. She might have been more likely to run away if people were feeling like
That needed to happen.
like this was too hard. Like
Being
she
over
might have
time.
been more likely to try and protect her friends first rather than thinking of the long term consequences, because I think that that's more her.
Yeah.
But I think I think the test was really important to her being mentally ready to do whatever was necessary to finish the job. In addition to like the spell itself being obviously key. Get it? Key. K-I.
Like this, like this.
Oh.
Key.
I get it.
How about that key?
I get it.
It was literally key.
Got it.
Samari understands none of that, by the way.
Like the whole key energy thing.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Your girl never paid attention a whole lot when it came to anything other than like she's that kid who learns best if she's allowed to get up and walk around in the back of the classroom
Right.
while the teacher is talking.
Mm-hmm.
So she never did super great with magic or anything that required sitting down and like actually studying. So when you say things like key, she lumps it into magic in her head, and she's just like, I don't fucking get that.
Yeah, most
She's
people
a dumb
don't
jock.
really understand it. I remember one time before we started streaming,
Damn, girl.
I lost my train of thought. Rice bin.
That was an Aragorn level speech.
Yeah.
Very good.
In my heart it was. Like, I know it wasn't really, but that's where I was. That's where I was at. Riceman, I remember one time asked Tatiana to explain key energy to him, and then he did an intelligence check to see if he understood it, and he was like,
Nope.
eyes glaze over, like,
Uh-huh.
she's used to people, like, not really good.
To be fair, Riceman thought
Anyway.
you were just gonna teach them how to, like, fight.
Punch stuff better.
Yeah.
But you were like, explain this whole key thing to me, and
Yeah.
she was like, okay, classroom explanation, like, let's talk philosophy, let's talk, like,
Mhm.
the mysteries of the universe.
And it's like,
And he's like,
I can make you a different color.
She has spent years upon years learning this
Right.
thing, so she can talk at you about it
It's like
for hours.
Forever.
people who have a doctorate in a particular subject, but they can't teach it worth shit because
Right.
they just know so much.
They
and
know
they're
too
like, how
much.
do I condense this?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
me and like anytime anyone mentions D&D, it's like, yeah, go ahead and just add 15 minutes to the conversation, and you're gonna have
15
to
minutes,
tell
Jordan?
me to stop.
15 minutes?
That's
It's
it.
it's yeah, you're
You
right.
told me to
You're
stop,
right.
my dude.
You're right. It's usually a lot. It's usually
We
a
were
lot.
there for like 2 hours.
I only told you to stop because of poor Cameron, who was just giving me
He
who
was
was
so
giving
tired.
me the
And
eyes.
hungry.
Cameron is so long suffering.
He
Like,
really is.
every
That
time.
is the best word for him. He is patient,
Suffering.
and I need
No,
someone
long
patient.
suffering is not the same as suffering.
That's
Yeah,
suffering.
I'm not gonna make him suffer.
So as
You
we
guys-
found out in the recent inside checks, or
Yes.
some recent inside check,
Mhm.
I met Olivia at a hobby shop, and when we were talking, we're chatting and stuff. Cameron
My beautiful husband.
is like, going off and doing things,
Perusing games.
and then like 45 minutes later, 15 minutes into our
He wandered
conversation,
back.
Cameron at one point is like looking past the like stack of board games. He's like,
Are they pregnant?
just goes back, and I happen to be looking, and Olivia's looking at me and talking and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta do this for Cameron.
Nice.
I'm like Olivia, we have exchanged numbers. It's just, you guys are hungry, right? Yeah, we'll
I'm like,
talk about
I'm
this
not
stuff.
hungry at all.
Hungry what? So,
Your
you
boys
know.
over there eating block books.
Yeah,
Yep.
poor Cameron.
He had already opened up a pack
Chewing on
of
dice.
Magic the Gathering cards.
Oh no.
The hollows are, more calorically dense.
Those blue eyes white dragons.
Are they?
I don't know.
I have one last question. Actually, I have another one before the last one.
How dare you,
I know, I lied.
you monster?
So first question: how does the party feel about potentially seeing the queen again? You went and dealt with what?
I'm just thinking of what Tanaya would feel during that question.
You went and dealt with Bizno partially because Tatiana needed to for her monastery, but partly because how do you pronounce her name? Queen's name. I've only ever seen it written.
Uldreen.
Uldreen wanted you to.
You gonna get that fortress?
So, what's your plan there?
I think we should reach out to her personally.
Yeah, so it seems like there's some people in the party who think she was like a double agent or something. Who thinks that?
I honestly think it was mostly. Well, no, Xena didn't.
Because
Xena did at the
Yeah,
end.
Yeah,
Xena did at the end.
Xeno's super.
Because
Like,
we walked
I
in on
mean,
her
she thought everyone
talking
was a double
to
agent.
Bizno.
We have to remember
Luke.
the
Nameless
Yes.
NPC.
Luke, double
younger
agent.
brother who was
Says a
trapped
bit.
in the castle. Like, there's that whole thing that went on.
Yeah.
But I personally feel like we should, like Sumiko would feel like we should reach out to her. One, to tell her that he's gone. And then two, to figure out
We definitely need to return to the queen.
And figure out why she was with him.
And we rescued. Well, it's because of Martos. Martos is like her right-hand man.
Sorcerer. Oh, I forgot what his relationship was.
And she gave you guys like badass shit before. Maybe she gave you even more badass shit.
Yeah, she wanted us to save a Martos. Tatiana was secretly ready to kill him if she had to, but whatever, it worked out. We ended up saving him.
I thought he was
We steal that
demon
sword,
or
right?
something this whole time.
Well, he was potentially
possessed by a
possessed
demon.
when we met him the first time.
I was thinking he was like a literal.
What is he
Oh
actually?
no, he's a dude.
I didn't know that.
So
Ben
was he
recently
Bizno when
explained
we
that to me.
found him the first time?
Mm.
He was nice to us?
So I didn't even know. I already
Nice.
run into Bizno again.
Correct.
Shit.
So Amartos in his standard form is a high elf. He has kind of pale skin and gray hair, and I think because of the fact that Bizno was possessing him for so long, or he was like such a part of him, he started to take on like
Very old.
physical elements. Yeah,
And his
Like-
skin was like
the skinny started
flaking off.
flaking off, getting all like cracked.
Burnt.
Yeah.
He was like growing horns, things like that.
He's single?
He is now.
He just
Top-
ended
top-
a
He just
very
got out of a long
long
relationship.
Yeah.
Very long and
He's on the
toxic
dating app Ender.
Ender?
Ender.
Get him.
Damn.
Sumiko will be your wingman.
Oh man.
She'll let you borrow the
But yeah, he's originally like very loyal to the queen.
Loot would be the wingman. Loot flies.
Oh my goodness. I was just being literal. I guess she'd be the wing woman.
So last question. With Bizno out of the picture, what are your characters' next steps? Are there any specific places they'll want to go or people they'll want to see?
How to become Bizno?
What? Tatiana, what are your next
So
steps?
are we talking after we recover
And get
from this, or right
fucked
away?
up alcoholically?
Because right away, she wants to
Find a bar.
find a bar. She wants to
Get white girl
to-
wasted.
to collapse on
Make
that
some dumb
ginormous
decisions.
bed in that town that we saved. I can never remember what it's called.
Northon?
Northon.
At the terrace?
The one that's Solar Fortress?
Go to the terrace.
Never been there. No one knows.
By the way, Gilly has been staying in our suite. I don't know if the party knows that.
What a butt licker.
Yeah. So go back to Northon, I think, and see everybody there. Flash, Gilly, and
Our quarters.
and really relax and not do anything life endangering for a minute. And then I think she's gonna be worried.
Gilly's a super cute half-orc.
And then I think she's gonna be
There
worried
are no
about.
super cute half-orcs.
She's super cute.
No, don't exist.
No, she's
Trixon?
way cute. Yeah, Trixon's
Trixon's
super
also
cute.
Samaria's a pretty cute
Yeah.
half-orc.
Excuse me. You can say goodbye to that training with the right guy.
Long term, I don't even know what Tatiana wants to do
Just
right
a
now.
different type of
She's probably
training.
gonna be worried about the locket. She's gonna be worried about that one super evil kid that escaped from prison that one time.
Yeah, it's fine. He's probably
Remember that kid?
He's probably cuddling with a rat.
And
somewhere.
like the one that we the evil girl person. Like
Yeah,
there are
fine.
some threads that she's gonna be maybe
Evil
concerned
girl
about
person.
down the line, but
You-
alright, you
It's
remember
okay.
the evil girl
They're
person?
my answer. So.
Yeah. What about
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay,
What
okay,
about
cool.
Nargary?
Who are you talking about?
I'm bad with names.
Nargary?
Varian?
I wouldn't
Evil
know.
girl
I
person.
should check
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, what about Nargary?
Varian knows who I'm talking about.
My original answer, like directly after the session, was like, yeah, we're gonna go to a town that we've been to and get a drink and get a low-level quest and just go tear shit up.
Right.
You definitely could.
Then I thought about it.
Okay,
I was like, shit, we have
big
we
stuff.
have an unconscious Amartos.
Sure, okay.
We have to
Just throw in the bag of holding.
do something about the queen. We got Bernie's got some questions about his dad. We gotta find the twins,
Yeah.
Kelsora and Kalanas.
That's the girl. That's fine.
Do we know what happened to Garo? The person that like kind of started all this shit.
Garo died.
He's actually dead, or she?
Or
He,
Who's
He's-
Garo?
Garo
Was he at
died.
the half-orc on the gurney?
We never met him. Garo died, and Amartos was really close to
Oh
him.
yes.
That's when Amartos made the deal with Bizno.
Garo brought it back to life. That's what he sold his soul for.
that's what he wanted.
I guess we can ask Martos what happened to Garo.
Yeah. So
Jordan doesn't know. Jordan's not Martos.
there's still a bunch of business in Stonehaven to take care of before we.
No, you're
before-
right.
Before Varian feels like
yeah.
it's chill time.
Luke, next session, we'll find a way to inform the party that
Next turn.
I can fast travel you guys. I just forgot to tell you.
Yay! Awesome.
How?
Teleportation circle. It's actually it's cheaper than I thought. I thought it was like 200 gold. It's only like 50. Just like
Damn.
I just needed. Except the issue is I only know one sigil. So, but tricks in my network, or have the ability to ask
Probably
someone.
gotta fucking look at them.
Maybe he is a sorcerer or wizard.
You know who knew more about teleportation circles?
Do I know anymore? I know if I make one in the same
No,
spot.
do you know who knew?
Oh, the dead guy.
Yeah.
Oh, so we just channel Val.
How
We can just have Val ask his
Draws-
brother,
draws
and his brother
sigils.
can draw the sigils.
That is something that could happen now.
It could be like a
Yeah,
ghost
that's-
moment with
That's
like
a good
Potter.
question. How
Your mind, my
how
mind.
on demand is that connection with Versguard?
Val has no control over that.
So it's not like
Just
AT&T
Versguard?
on demand. It's more like Spectrum on demand.
We're thinking like Time Warner,
Oh, okay.
I feel
where
like it's more of like a
when you need it,
an
it's
alert.
never there. But when they need you, because like they want a bill or something,
Flash
it's
flood
there.
warning.
That's flood warning.
Yeah, that's what makes me think of like you can't contact it, but when you don't want it on your phone, it's like
So it's like that.
You can
It's like that
have,
presidential
You
alert.
can't call the flood.
yeah, you can't.
They can only call you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he can really only like. I mean, it's still very fresh for him too. So I don't think he truly understands everything about it
Right.
because this is something like he's had for like what
4 days.
a couple of days. Yeah.
And to be fair, like he might not even remember the sigils because he might have just had a book with him. So.
Yeah, he's Time Warner.
We are alienating potential sponsors.
To be fair,
I
Time
don't
Warner,
want Time Warner.
Time Warner no longer exists.
We don't want any of big cable.
Time Warner Spectrum now. So
Yeah.
We want Diet Coke.
we're a Google
We
Fiber.
do want
You
Diet
want
Coke.
Diet Coke?
We're a Google
Oh,
Fiber
man.
team.
Microsoft OneNote.
That was so random. And
And
Microsoft OneNote.
What?
Sponsor us. We'll tell
Diet
you
Coke.
later.
Anyway.
I put connections at Coke if that's what we're like, actually trying to do.
One second the dick.
Oh yeah, we decided that too.
My word. Yeah, we'll tell you about that
Do
later.
we have other questions?
Luke, what are their next steps? Are there any specific places they want to go? People they want to see?
Not well, other than going to the Fae again. But not super specific. Kind of just want to see more because now feels like the party might be backtracking on past adventures and seeing the past where they've been. So
Filling in right in that prequel.
yeah, well, and Luke gets to see, like, Luke's heard the story secondhand, so hearing firsthand accounts of their stories might be nice. So if they do end up going back to the one of the cities that they saved or whatever, Luke probably will spend a couple hours or a day walking around gathering intel on the party.
Now that the party's gonna have some downtime, are they just gonna, like, whenever the party's sitting around the campfire, just go from person to person? Doing,
gather.
like, private interviews. Like,
Tell me your
hey,
story.
Yeah.
Tell-
Where are you from?
Who you be?
Everything.
Where are you from?
Luke likes to organically gather information. So likes to gather information without them realizing. So that's one of the benefits that Loot has had in their life as being a Warforged. They can literally just be chilling in a bar. Seems like they're zoning out into space when they're just observing everything around them. So they're
Next steps. People, places she wants to see.
She's gonna want to go home. I don't know like how many good deeds she would feel like she would need to do, but this is a pretty big one. So this might be the first time where she feels like even if those little deeds weren't enough, this is a big deal.
All deeds are equal.
Does she feel like she should go home now that she's very much, after the 2 months of training, very in control of her powers, so that she can be like, look guys, I'm not a danger anymore?
No. Because Sumiko's not interested in like being the leader, and she's not going to be the one asking people to go do that because it's not time sensitive, it's not a priority, and she's going to want to do what everyone else wants to do first. She's not going to be like she's going to think that she wants to go do that stuff, but she's not going to be voicing it.
Gotcha.
Like actively.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
I just don't think she's not, like, nobody really asked her about anything. So, I don't think she truly feels like she can just openly talk about stuff.
That's going to change. Samaria tends to be very blunt about that kind of thing. Which I think is why she knows as much about Val as she does, because she just outright asked.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's
I
really
would have told
asked
you if you
about...
just asked.
I don't
That's
think anyone's asked about
Did you
it.
just channel Jeff for a second there?
I did.
And die a little internally.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of
It
feel
was
like...
it was very spicy.
Right.
I channeled Val. I mean, yeah, I channeled Val, and it was spicy.
Many.
We've never really been like a group that tells our whole story or says, this is what I want to get done.
We're just talks in
Help
general.
me out with this. We more come across things that just need to get done.
And punch
Like,
them in the
I
face.
wasn't like, help me avenge my monastery. Like, we walked into the castle and Bizno was
There.
like
Yeah.
talking to the queen. Like,
Right, I mean, I think unless there was like imminent doom, she's not gonna...
You guys are
Right.
reactive.
so it might be cool
That
to
is now.
like do more of that. Like, I think as a player, I think like building the bonds in the party is something that I'm really interested in doing after this arc.
Yeah.
And kind of the imminent danger of it all.
Right, yeah, I feel like she's just focused on like what everyone else is doing.
What
Like most of the
season
time,
is it?
I don't think people notice what she's saying or doing.
Oh, thought you meant that was a show.
No.
It's like when we try like a Winter Wonderland adventure where we just like go traveling the wintering around and spring adventure. Okay.
I think it's
When is Sumiko's birthday?
It was
Did
the
that
day
just
that
pass?
you all left.
Or that was 2 months
that was 2 months ago.
ago. Yeah.
So we kind of celebrated.
Yeah, I think it might be spring.
So
If it's not spring, then
we
it's
need to go spring break.
summer.
Go to Sharpton Island. Sharpton, and see all the enclaves.
We have to bring our bro friend.
Enclave.
Samaria does not picture herself a leader. Yeah. She very much feels like she's a foot soldier, and she will be asking Tatiana what she has planned and why. Because she regards Tatiana as the leader of the party.
It's really
And is
interesting
gonna want orders.
because I think right now Tatiana's so fried. Like,
She's gonna be like,
I
shut up,
keep-
leave me alone.
I keep trying to get into Tatiana's mind about like what's she planning, and it's like
Exhausting.
she just wants to do nothing right now. And I think she's going to be looking like Varian mentioned a couple of things that when that comes, she's going to be like, oh yeah, we do have to do that. But like,
But I'm not ready. Do we have to right now?
yeah.
Paris, North Northon.
No.
Chili.
Oh, look, there are other adventurers out there. Look into it. We can just put up a
Oh.
quest.
Adults.
I think if Tatiana was like, right now we're resting, that's what we're doing, Smerry would accept it.
We can just put up a quest
I would
and have
do so.
everyone else do our dirty work.
Sumiko would also want to go back to see Dane. We need another map too because
If we're going back to Northon, we hopefully get a map of Orinthia.
Yeah,
we need another
true.
map. But we
Show
also
me
need
that map.
another map of our map so that we don't all have to share the one map.
We need
Map of
more
our map.
copies of the
Yes.
map we already have.
we need
Well,
You
copies.
could definitely get that
Good
from
call.
Dane.
Good call.
No, do we need more cat
We
maps
do.
now?
We should
Can
go.
we get
No,
from,
well, just
Epsom?
mine needs to have my cat on it.
Have you used it?
You
for
don't
the
know
cat?
Epsom?
Kodak.
I want to visit Dane again just because I want to
Kinko?
see
Staple.
Samiko try and
Oh, we can
flirt
blow
with-
his.
or see he and Samiko try and flirt again. That's just
If
one
you
of
want
my
to blow
favorite
his mind, you
things
can give him
ever.
that sword.
They're like the two
Oh my God.
awkward kids, like
Yeah, exactly.
We should
Like,
edit the map.
They're like
to be
middle
like,
school
hey, this
kids
part
who
was wrong.
want to be boyfriend girlfriend.
Yes.
Qualcomm Cove is actually
Walking
over
around the
there. It's
halls
over
together.
there.
Yeah, cute.
that was better than mine.
What?
So that was better than mine.
Yeah,
Aww.
Qualcomm Cove is mid.
Do you remember the first holiday party?
Oh, I remember.
I went back and read some of the
100%.
notes today because I was confused. I always get confused about what happened with the Marcos and Kelsora in the Qualcomm Caves. That's where she did the bad thing and killed everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Probably because we didn't have the map yet.
She did the bad thing.
Well,
Remember that one time we fought like the two-headed thingy? We had some simple battles in the past.
and
Yeah, Eden. Remember we fought the Eden? The sleeping Eden?
I vaguely remember that because
We've had some
it
simple
got
battles.
fucking destroyed.
Because that thing got wrecked in like one turn.
Because we got a
I
surprise
felt
round
bad.
because we actually
I
planned
felt,
something.
I felt bad for Jordan. It was just like gone.
Like, hey, let's plan
Don't
something.
feel bad for me.
That
Well.
shit was just gone.
Well,
If you
we
guys,
know
if you
you're
guys
at
plan
the-
things out and you like legitimately fuck shit up, I'm like, cool, awesome, guys.
It used to be really hard to plan anything.
Teamwork.
if nobody else in the chat has any more questions,
Sting like a ray.
Yeah, Sting like a ray.
we have reached our time.
Oh, we have!
We have, and it's time to end for this Wednesday.
Buenos
This
dias.
Wednesday.
For this Wednesday.
Buenos noches.
For this Wednesday. Buenos
Buenos.
Tuesday.
No. No.
Buenos Wednesday.
No. That.
Miércoles.
Yeah, there you go.
Miércoles.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, we're gonna stop
Like I
now.
said,
Good conversation,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
See you guys on Sunday.
Hasta domingo.
Bye.
Golden Bargain.
I forgot that.